So we'll pick up on that topic about supply chain attacks. I look at it from two lenses. One is security by its nature creates friction in the company, right? Because you are the people who will say no.
Always.
You can't do this, you can't do that, this is bad, this is going to be risky.
You're the bad guys.
You're the bad guy. So you create friction. On the other hand, there is a business that wants to fly. They want to be out there because they're competing in the market. So if you are the most secure company and the most friction company, but if you're not able to do business, then it kind of doesn't align well. So my part one of the question is, as a CISO, how do you balance both these sides? And attached to that second question, to the same question, is that a lot of those capabilities are today offered as platforms by your third-party providers. And because you can't build everything on your own, right? So I'm assuming that for you, the people who take surveys and who go out in the field, those may be outsourced providers that you work with most likely. You may be using some other technology to upload the images and so on and so forth. If you have health insurance, then you will have someone that will be doing the medical tests and that activities. So there will be those different capabilities. KYC platforms are different. So my second question is that security is as good as your weakest link. So help me understand the friction part of it, and then attach to it, because business wants these capabilities. You don't want to build it. You will take it from outside. The supply chain risk part of it. So two sides of the same coin.
Okay. So I'll respond to your first one. Yes. So security persons are usually bad guys, and but I think it is take it in different perspective usually because you heard the concept of security by design, right?
Yes.
And now added to DPDP, the privacy by default, right? So these two concept is by default is required nowadays: security by design and privacy by default. So whatever the legacy systems are there, definitely that will have some gaps implementing these things. But let's forget the legacy part, keep it aside. But other thing, if we talk about the normal things, the innovation part, the team wants to do some innovation and it is not happening. So everyone is doing is they are involving security team right from the start, right from the planning phase. Earlier, everything is done, and then security used to give a go ahead whether it will go and not go, or maybe after one assessment or after one VAPT or whatever is the assessment of the code, and then you go to the security gate and say, okay, everything is done. Now you have to say tick mark activity. But now everything is shift left. So
it's like the Bollywood movie where the cops come the last.
Cops come the last. So the कानून के हाथ लंबे होते हैं. So that's what it is. So what we are doing here is we have to start with the early as planning phase, and we know, and each checkpoint, and now it is not a waterfall model nowadays. Yeah. Everyone is agile. Yes. So they want to innovate fast, and security is also not a road blocker, not an obstacle. They also want business to grow and do well. So now security also become a part of the journey.
Yes.
That becomes much more easier, and that since you are involved in right from the start, it develops a trust as well.
Yes.
So that trusted innovation will help to have that. It will not create that friction which was supposed to happen at the later point of time. If you start from the early, have the oiling much before, be an agile process. Whatever is happening, let it run of its own and do it out, gives its output, measure it. If it is doing if the output is satisfactory, then okay, otherwise give the feedback to the input, right? That's the same thing you do. Yeah. And security is balancing in every phase. So right from the first, wherever is required, it is done from the start. So there is no friction. There is a trusted innovation, and it becomes much more faster as well. So how you do all these type of things? So that is the first part of question. So answer the security by design and privacy by default. Okay. Your second part is question of
supply chain attacks.
Supply chain attacks. Okay. So I touched upon very briefly about those things. Since we are a B2C or any company, we have our brokers, agents, third parties, and we have our things in cloud as well. So whatever you do, your hosting, you are working with the third party service providers. So what you need to do is like a firewall. The firewall, what is the default thing? So it is deny,
Yeah.
right? The deny mode of firewall is always a deny. By default, it is deny. So similarly, if you want to integrate any of your third-party service provider, don't integrate directly with your network. You give an API connection. Create your secure API gateway.
Right.
If you have your API gateway secured and give your connection only to the API connectivity, only to the third parties, then it becomes much more, the risk is become much more reduced. That is one part of the technical side. But from the contract perspective also, you can bind them, because now you are not the only one who is working on your home, as I mentioned earlier as well. So it is a complete ecosystem. So if the complete ecosystem is not secure enough, you will be always liable for such type of attacks, which I spoke about earlier. So to maintain the balance between the complete ecosystem, whatever the controls you are following, you should ensure your service provider partners are also providing the basic level of controls and checks, so that you can enable through your normal interaction as well, and that you can enable through your contracts as well. Whatever you can always draft a contract with your so-and-so basic level of cyber hygiene should be there, basic level of reports, third-party audited reports should be there, SOC 2 certification should be provided. Nowadays, what Mythos and other things came up, so we are also asking our service provider OEMs to give us a recertification of the SOC 2 report, right? They should provide us the recertification of SOC 2 report, where they can always say that, yes, Mythos type of attacks are not there in that. So that will give you the assurity. So that transparency should be there. So whatever this ecosystem completely individual will not suffice. Everyone will have to collaborate together, and the supply chain attack will not happen in day one or day two. And with the good companies, it is happening. So whatever it happens, you should be resilient enough to come across, and how soon you become detected and recover from it.